Hello everyone. We had done a project on embedded systems from MRTXE. We had done a project called Microwave Oven Simulation. We are a team of 3 members, myself, C. Jyothika, and my team members are Anila and Pavitra. The topics that we had learnt during this internship are Introduction to Embedded Systems, Introduction to C, Variables and Data Types, Conditional Statement Loops and Operators, Arrays and Pointers, Storage Classes, Preprocessors, Functions and Strings. The tools which are required for this internship are Mplab IDE, XCB, PICSimlab, Introduction to various peripherals of PIC16 F877A. The contents or the topics involved in this project are Introduction to C and Embedded Systems, what is microwave oven, the requirements, and what is meant by microcontrollers and microprocessor, what is PICSimlab, and what is CLCD, which is a character LCD, and matrix keypad, and ISR timers for the project implementation, and introduction to embedded C program, and the code involved to execute this project, and how to simulate this microwave oven is implemented by this program. And coming to introduction to embedded system, an embedded system is a specified computer system which is designed to perform a specific tasks or function within a larger system or a larger component. The components which are in the embedded systems are power supply unit and microcontroller, memory, timers or counters, communication ports or serial ports, input and output ports. It can be said as a dedicated computer system has been developed for some particular reason, but it is not our traditional computer system or general purpose computers. These are the embedded systems that may work independently or attached to a larger system to work on a few specific functions. And it is the flowchart representation of embedded system. It contains memory, output ports, input ports, and other devices like peripheral devices. The system core consists of the CPU. And coming to introduction to C, C is a general purpose programming language that is extremely popular, simple, and flexible to use. It is a structured programming language that is machine independent and extensively used to write various applications. C is often referred to as a low-level programming language. C is highly portable and it can be written in C. The code can be written in C and that can be compiled and executed on various platforms with minimal modifications. The syntax of C is very simple and easy to analyze, making it easier to learn and read. It uses a combination of keywords, operators, and punctuation marks to create code. It is widely used in embedded systems. It is used for developing system applications and desktop applications. Most of the applications by Adobe are developed using C programming languages. And coming to the variables and data types, variables in embedded C are similar to those in standard C. They are named storage locations in memory used to store and manipulate data. Data types in the C language can be categorized into 3 types, namely primitive, user-defined, and derived data types. Data types uses the same data types as standard C. Embedded C typically uses the same data types as standard C, including basic data types and derived data types. Basic data types are int, char, float, double, and derived data types are like array, pointer, struct, structures, union, enum. Control statements and loops. The control statements are subcategorized into conditional and unconditional. In conditional statements, decision making and branching looping, if statement, if else statement, or under decision making control statements. Control statements enable us to specify the flow of program control. They make possible to make decisions, to perform tasks repeatedly, or to jump from one section of code to another. Decision making statements are if and if else. If else statement is used to carry out a logical test and then take one of two possible actions depending on the outcome of the test. Switch statement is a branching control statement. It is used for multiple way selections that will branch into different code segments based on the value of a variable or expression. Loops. There are mainly three loops. They are for loop, while loop, and do while loop. The for loop consists of a for statement which repeatedly executes the set of instructions that comprise the body of the for loop until a particular condition is satisfied. And coming to the while and do while loops, they are, while loop is the entry controlled statement and do while is the exit controlled statement. While statement executes a block of statements repeatedly while a particular condition is true, and do while loop is the condition at the end of the loop after executing the block of statements at least once. If the condition is true, the loop continues, else it terminates after the first iteration. Arrays and pointers. Array is the collection of homogeneous elements in C. An array is a contiguous memory location. It is a zero based, which means the first element has an index of 4. And the length of array is n minus 1 if the length of condition is having a length of n. Pointers in C. Pointers are like variables that store memory addresses. They are used to access data indirectly, allocate memory dynamically, and interact with hardware.
Myself Pavitra, I am continuing further topics included in this project. Storage classes. Storage classes presented in the C are used to describe the features of variable or function. These features basically include the scope, visibility, and lifetime of a variable, which defaults to trace the existence of a particular variable during the runtime of a program. There are 4 storage classes present in the C: auto, register, static, extend. Auto is the default storage class for all the variables declared inside a function or a block. Auto variables can be only accessed within the block or function they have been declared and not outside them. And it is declared by using the auto keyword. Register. The register storage class is used to suggest the compiler to store the variable in a CPU register, and these variables that have the same functionality as that of the auto variables. The only difference is that the compiler tries to store these variables in the register of the microprocessor if a free register is available. And static. The static storage class can apply to local and global variables. For local variables, it preserves the variables values between function calls, and it is used to declare static variables which are popularly used while writing programs in C language. Static variables have the property of preserving their value even after they are out of their scope. And the last is extend. The extend storage class is typically used for global variables. It indicates that the variable is defined in another source file. It tells us that variable is defined elsewhere and not within the same block where it is used. Basically, the value is assigned to it in a different block, and this can be overwritten or changed in a different block as well. Preprocessor. Preprocessors in C is not a part of the compiler, but it is a separate step in the compilation process. In simple terms, C preprocessor is just a text substitution tool, and it instructs the compiler to do required preprocessing before the actual compilation. There are many more preprocessors included in this C. They are as include, has define, has if def, has if and def, as else, as if, as elif, as end if, as error, has pragma. Has define is used to substitute a preprocessor macro. Has include inserts a particular header from another file. Has include directive is include to used to include the content of file another file in your source code. Has and if is a preprocessor macro. This is used to define a previously defined macro. These directives are used for conditional compilation, and hash pragma directive is used to provide compiler specific instructions or options. Issues a special commands to the compiler using a standardized method. Has error, has warning, these two are used to generate a error message on std error. Functions in a C. In C, we can divide a large program into the basic building blocks which are known as functions. These functions contains the set of programming statements enclosed by flower brackets. In a function declaration, we must provide the function name, its return type, and the number and type of its parameters. A function declaration tells the compiler that there is a function with the given name defined somewhere else in the program. The syntax is given here, and function is mainly used for the reusability of code. There are three types in these functions: function declaration, function definition, and function call. Function declaration must be declared globally in a C program to tell the compiler about the function name, function parameters, and return types. Function call be called from anywhere in the program. The parameter list must not differ in function calling and function declaration. Coming to function definition, it contains the actual statements which are to be executed. It is the most important aspect to which the control comes when function is called. Introduction to various peripherals of PIC16F877A. This microcontroller is one of the most renowned microcontroller in the industry, and it is most widely used in embedded systems. This microcontroller is very convenient to use. The coding or programming of this controller is very easy. One of the main advantages is that it can be write erase as many times as possible because it uses flash memory technology. It has a total number of 40 pins, and there are 33 pins for input and output. This microcontroller is used in PIC microcontroller projects. This has many applications also in digital electronics. All pins have multiple functionalities, like port C pins can be used as digital input pins and output pins. For universal asynchronous receiver transmitter communication and I2C communication, but we can use one function of each port at a time. We cannot use one function or one port to many functions. And these microcontrollers are also used for analog and digital purpose. We suggest to use one pin for single functionality, not for many functionalities. As we said, this microcontroller consists of 40 pins, and out of this there are more functions which was used as input and output ports. It has a 35 instruction sets, and it can operate at 20 MHz frequency. The operation voltage is 4.2 volts to 5.5 voltage. If you provide it voltage more than 5.5 volts, it may get damaged. It does not have internal oscillators like PIC18 family, and The current limit for each GPIO pin of PIC16 is 10 mA. A micro oven is an electric oven that heats and cooks food by exposing it to electromagnetic radiation in the microwave frequency range. It is conversion of electromagnetic energy into thermal energy within the food. During cooking, microwave energy is absorbed by rotation of water molecules and translation of ionic components in meat. There are many different modes in a microwave oven. Some of them are micro mode, grill mode, convection mode, start mode. Microwave ovens are a convenient means to heat food and are generally safe when used correctly. And the modes are micro mode. This mode uses a maximum power of 200 watts and the maximum time can be set is 60 minutes. This mode is used for traditional cooking. And grill mode. This mode allows to use the microwave's heating element for cooking like meat. Convection mode. This mode, user can set the oven to preheat by selecting a particular temperature. The preheating is done for 3 minutes. Start mode. It is standard mode used for cooking in microwave oven. The 5 advantages of using a microwave oven. They save time, preserve nutrients, are convenient, energy efficient and versatile. Microcontrollers. Microcontrollers is a compact integrated circuit designed to govern an embedded system. A typical microcontroller includes a processor, memory, I/O ports on a single chip. A microcontroller is embedded inside of a system to control a singular function in a device. These are used to control various devices and systems, providing intelligence and functionality to those systems. The design normally has restrictions on it: memory size, I/O ports, peripheral functions. Microprocessors. It is an important part of computer architecture without which you will not be able to perform anything on your computer. It is a programmable device that takes its input, performs some arithmetic and logical operations over it and produces the desired output. The main difference between the microprocessors and microcontrollers is microcontroller has all the ports in on a single chip, while microprocessor not. Basics of microprocessor. Microprocessor performs 3 basic things like basic operations like addition, subtraction, multiplication and arithmetic and logical unit, and it also includes program counter and stack pointer, where program counter stores the address of next instruction and stack pointer always points to the top of the stack. The differences between the microprocessor and microcontroller is microprocessor is processor where the memory and I/O components are connected externally. A microcontroller is a controlling device wherein the memory and I/O output components are present internally. Microprocessors can't be used in compact system. Microcontrollers can be used with a compact system. Microprocessors are not that much efficient compared to microcontrollers. Microprocessors have a 0 status flag and microcontrollers doesn't have a 0 status flag. Microprocessors generally used in personal computers, whereas microcontrollers are generally used in washing machines, air conditioners and microwave ovens. PICSimlab. It is a software tool and simulator designed for learning and experimenting with the programming and simulation of microcontrollers. It allows users to simulate and experiment with PIC microcontroller circuits without the need for physical hardware. PIC microcontrollers are commonly used in embedded systems and are produced by Microchip technology. Some key features of PICSimlab may include circuit simulation, code development, hardware abstraction, real-time simulation, support for various PIC models, education and training. It is important to note the features and capabilities of PICSimlab may have evolved or changed.
My name is Anila. I am continuing the further topics and simulation. Character LCD. Character LCD is a type of liquid crystal display that is commonly used in embedded systems and electronic devices to display alphanumeric characters. LCD is the technology used for displays in notebook and other smaller computers. Like light emitting diode and glass plasma technologies, LCDs allow displays to be much thinner than cathode ray tube technology. LCDs consume much less power than LED and gas displays because they work on the principle of blocking light rather than emitting it. Character LCDs are popular in various applications including digital thermometers, clocks, and some consumer electronics. Applications. Character LCDs are used in various embedded systems applications including digital thermometers, alarm systems, electronic door locks, simple user interfaces for applications, and more. Matrix keypad. Matrix keypads are commonly used in embedded systems to provide convenient and compact means for user input. Most of the applications of embedded systems require keypads to take the user inputs, especially in the case where an application requires more keys. With simple architecture and easy interfacing procedure, matrix keypads are replacing normal push buttons by offering more inputs to the user with the lesser input-output pins. As a human-machine interface, keypad plays a major role in vital microprocessor and microcontroller-based projects and equipments. Therefore, these keypads are composed of an array of buttons arranged in rows and columns, and they are often used to input numerical or alphanumeric data. Here is how matrix keypads are typically employed in embedded systems: hardware configuration, interfacing, scanning, key press detection, debouncing, application, and programming. Now, ISR timer project implementation. Interrupt service routine for a timer is predefined function that executes in response to a timer interrupt. It typically involves handling time-related tasks such as updating system clocks or triggering periodic events. Interrupt service routines for timers are crucial for real-time systems and multitasking. They are usually short, efficient, and written in a way that minimizes potential timing issues or conflicts with other code. These routines are essential for ensuring precise timing and synchronizing various system processors. A timer is a piece of hardware built in the Arduino controller, and depending on the model, it could have different amount of timers. Each timer can generate one or more interrupts. One type of interrupt is the compare match. Since we have 3 timers, we have 6 ISR vectors, 2 for each timer, and they have 3 names: timer 1, 2, and 3 comparator vectors. Interrupt service routine to call when the interrupt occurs. This function must take no parameters and return nothing. This function is sometimes referred to as an interrupt service routine, and the modes defines the when the interrupt should be triggered. Now we can see the simulation process, how the micro oven works. Open the source files and now run the code to see the output. Now we select the microcontroller as PIC16F877A. Set the clock frequency as 20. Select the board as PICGIOS. Set the frequency 20. load the hex file into it. Now we can start the micro mode. After that, we have to set the time. Let's take 6 seconds. Now press enter. Set the buzzer. Now the fan is rotating. After the time ends, the buzzer will start. As we see here, the cooking time is up, so the buzzer will start. Now we stop here. So the microwave oven execution ends here. Thank you for watching. Service routine. While coming to the C program,